Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Rays TV presented by Union Home Mortgage. We welcome you to downtown Baltimore, Maryland, known as Charm City. It's the Rays and the Orioles, Game 2. Somehow they'll try to follow up yesterday's crazy one. It's Game 2 of the series as we welcome you inside Oriole Park at Camden Yards. I'm Andy Freed, filling in for Dwayne Stats alongside BA. If you missed yesterday, it was as topsy-turvy a game as you could possibly see. The Rays now back-to-back walk-off losses. Today, though, BA, as it's always about the pitching, Griffin Jax, Shane Baz, who just faced each other at Tropicana Field. So kind of like yesterday when it was McClanahan against Bradish. We'll see if anything changes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, both of them threw the ball very well. It's interesting, both of them have very good fastballs, but it was a couple of the secondary offerings that took center stage. For Griffin Jax, through his 5 innings, he was awesome with his changeup. Down and away, the left-handed hitter, a lot of swing and miss, gave up just a 1 run, struck out 6, used his pitches to both sides of the plate to set up that changeup, and he did it on a very economical 62 pitches. On the other side, Shane Baz, of course, he's got the big fastball, but it was the curveball for him against the Rays, eliciting all those swings and misses. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, gave up just a run, arguably his best start of the season. But I am as interested as you are. Will anything change here tonight? We'll find out.
He's been beat up inside his new home at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, so we'll see if the Rays can get a lead. Heck, the Rays scored 7 runs yesterday and still lost 9-7. Griffin Jax goes today for the Rays, his 1.42 ERA as a starter, and it's Rays and Orioles round 2 coming up from Baltimore. First pitch in a moment.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play, only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Go-ahead run, Ramirez at second base. First base is open. And now Williams intentionally walked Cabrera. Line drive to center field. A base hit for Cabrera, who swung at that pitch. Williams didn't get it far enough outside, and Cabrera alertly swung at it.
Well, Little League right here. It happens in Little League when you don't get the ball out.
Now the Marlins have the lead in the 10th.
Griffin Jax has made a smooth transition into the starting rotation for the Rays, giving up just 3 earned runs over his last 5 starts. Today, Jax leads the Rays back into Charm City, where they square off against old friend Shane Baz and the Baltimore Orioles. Rays TV is presented by Union Home Mortgage. Baseball tonight from downtown Baltimore, Maryland. It's the Rays and the Orioles in Game 2. Kevin Cash and company trying to shake off one of the toughest losses of the year yesterday, but so much going on in Rays land, and for more on that, here's Ryan Bass.
Yeah, Andy, big news of the day. The Rays have signed Craig Kimbrell, bringing his all-star resume here to Tampa Bay. Owner of 440 career saves, he now adds to this bullpen, giving them some much-needed juice there as well. This is 7 years after he almost joined the organization before choosing a long-term deal with the Cubs back in 2019. Kimbrell said, "I couldn't be happier to be here." He pointed to the Rays' pitching analytics and ability to create swing-and-miss stuff as a major draw. Kevin Cash said, "Adding a veteran with this kind of resume and experience will only add to our group." And maybe the best part is you take a look at his career at 37-year-old. Kimbrell says what still drives him is walking into new clubhouses and seeing young players excited to share the field with him. Carson Williams teased him today that he's been watching him since he came out of the womb. I've gotten a lot of that, Kimbrell joked. 17 years and still going strong, Andy. What a big addition to the Rays bullpen.
You got that right, Ryan. Number 5 on the all-time saves list. Asking Kevin Cash and what role he'll be. Is it closer? He goes just in the mix. And that really holds true for pretty much everyone in that bullpen, regardless if you're top 5 saves all time or not. If you're with the Rays in the bullpen, you're in the mix.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about yesterday. It's not so much anymore what inning you're going to pitch. It's what part of the lineup are you going to pitch against. So whatever matchups favor Craig Kimbrell, that's going to be the part of the game that could be the 6th. It might be the 9th. You never know. But it's about where the matchups are, and that's the game that Kevin Cash will play when the starter comes out.
Cheers to you, Yandy. He and Victor Mesa toasting with bananas before the game today. Hey, whatever works. A little last boost of energy as the Rays try to snap a little 2-game losing skid. Now both on walk-offs, so that hasn't been the best thing in the world. But okay, they'll come. That Rays haven't lost a series in over a month, so we'll see what they can do today. Why don't we take a look now at the starting lineup? So the lineups are brought to you by Orlando Health. Now the Rays with Chandler Simpson will lead it off. Junior Caminero 2 and Jonathan Aranda 2 RBIs, including a homer yesterday. Yandy Diaz now hitting .314. That leads the American League. He's the DH. Palacios a big hit in the 8th yesterday. Mullins a good return. Gave the Rays the lead in the 12th yesterday, 13th as it was yesterday. He's back, and then Victor Mesa Jr. with his first Rays homer. Hunter Fiducia homered off Boz last time, and Oliver Dunn, though, a late addition. Taylor Wall's a late scratch.
Yeah, Hunter Fiducia, that home run off Shane Boz, and then later in the game drops down the bunt to get that 8th inning going for the Rays and that comeback win. Shane Boz obviously taking the mound here once again for the Baltimore Orioles. His back-to-back start against the Rays, and you see 10 starts on the season, a 1-5 record, an ERA of 4.87, just far too many base runners, too many walks. That leads to that higher whip, which then of course will then translate into a higher ERA. However, his last start against the Rays was probably his best start of the season. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and at one point, the last 4 innings of his outing, he faced the minimum. He gave up a base hit, turned that immediately into a ground ball double play, and then retired the next 10 in a row. So he finished that outing very, very strong. This is the mix that he did it with. The curveball was the big pitch against the Rays in his last start. A lot of left-handed hitters in the lineup, and he was able to get that curveball vertical, get a lot of swings and misses with it to go and complement all the other pitches. Of course, the good fastball that's going to sit at 96, 97 miles per hour. Let's take a look at that Oriole defense. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Taylor Ward, Leody Tavares, and Colton Cowser. Infield third to first, Blaze Alexander, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holliday, and Pete Alonso, with Samuel Basayo back behind the plate.
Well, Colton Cowser, who didn't have a home run in his first 37 games this year, now has walk-off homers in back-to-back days, as he did it in the day game of Sunday's doubleheader here against Detroit and then against the Rays yesterday, and they'll tie for the Major League lead in walk-off homers this year. Okay, game 2 underway with Chandler Simpson and a strike to get a start.
You're the last Oriole to do that? Walk-off home runs in back-to-back days?
I think I know.
I think you probably do know.
I think I was there.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Well, then, please tell.
Are we talking about the great Freddie Lynn?
We are.
I was at the Friday night game where he walked off the Twins. The next day was my birthday, and he did it again against the Twins. Left-hander Kurt Wardle, he took him out of the ballpark. He had gotten Ron Davis in game 1.
And I had no idea that this was coming. I was just going to test your Baltimore knowledge, and here you were there. That's awesome.
That was my childhood. That was it.
That's why I knew you'd get it. I just didn't know you were present.
Wasn't that crazy? Might have been the only walk-off I ever went to as a kid. And then it happens yesterday, and the Rays got to shake that off. Line towards Cowser. And should be extra bases. There's a head-first dive and a double for Chandler Simpson.
And you know what? That might be the only guy, one of very few, that turns that hit into a double. Because that ball was well struck. It was well played by Cowser out there in right field off the wall. He got the throw in quickly, but you just have too much speed coming out of that batter's box. You can't play that any better. A strong throw, didn't matter. There's a lot of guys, I'm telling you right now, that would still be hung up at first base right now. Not Chandler.
Remember yesterday, Palacios did it, and Cowser really plays the wall well out there in right. Now Junior Caminero, a bullet to short, but Henderson throws him out. Junior doing everything he can to get that ball in the air, but sometimes he gets in these little ruts where everything's on the ground.
Well, and guess what? It's really interesting that you say that, because what did Boz go to right there? He went to the fastball, but it was the two-seam fastball. That's a new offering for him. He did not throw that with the Rays a season ago.
Certainly worked. Holding Simpson at second for now. Now the league's RBI leader, and Jonathan Aranda. Can I give you one other thing about, I can't resist. Fred Lynn had the walk-off homer that Friday night, ninth inning home. Next night, ninth inning walk-off home run. Next day, went to the game again, another ninth inning homer, but they lost the game. 3 straight games, ninth inning home runs.
By Fred Lynn.
By Fred Lynn. And this should give the Rays the lead. Simpson around third, and Aranda has his 41st batted in, and the Rays jump out on top today.
I tell you, it's the knack that Aranda has with runners in scoring position. We're going to have to look up his average. The last time I checked it, it was hovering around 370. But he has been just so clutch. He gets a 4-seam fastball there, and watch how quick. Just a quick, short swing to the baseball. And as soon as that ball touched grass, you knew that Chandler Simpson was going to be able to make it home and give the Rays an early lead.
That's what they needed. You know, when you have a loss like yesterday, it tends to wipe away all the things that actually did go right. I mean, the Rays had scored 7 runs yesterday on a day where Bradish had been very good. They had timely hits and home runs, but at some point you got to stop the other team, and the O's did their thing. In fact, I saw a note about yesterday's game. Oh, Yandy Diaz to the right side. Aranda is going to try for third. Cowser can't get it there in time. In fact, it hit Aranda, and it's runners to the corners.
Watch Yandy Diaz change his swing. Yandy knows the runner over there at first base being held on, and the second baseman playing way up the middle. He's got a whole right side to deal with. He gets a breaking ball, and he just sits back and just slaps it the other way. Watch how he changes his swing. Doesn't try to drive it. He just allows that pitch to work its way to the outer part of the plate, and then just gets it rolling to right field because there is nobody there to field it. That's just knowing where the defense is playing you, getting a pitch on the outer half of the plate, and taking full advantage. Something that he can do because he can manipulate his swing, and his swing mechanics are so just so fundamentally sound.
Look at that. Opposite field hit to number 1.
That's how you hit. You know, that's how you lead the league in hitting.
Back to Boz. They get 1 and 2. Credit to Shane Boz fielding his position there on the mound. Turns in a 1-6-3 double play. The Rays have to be satisfied with 1 as Griffin Jacks will take to the mound.
Cabrera was an 18-time All-Star and 10-time World Series champion.
This is the only perfect game in World Series history. You ask him about it, and he would say, it ain't been done before, and it ain't been done since.
David Wells was perfect on May 17th, 1998, Beanie Baby Day.
It's not the pitcher that's calling the game, it's the catcher calling what pitch to throw.
Home plate is 17 inches wide. And so he said, well, if it's more than an inch, and it was a lot more than an inch, then it's an illegal bat.
Well, he is. He's out. Yes, sir. That is out. Look at this. Keep it down a little, will you, please? Okay, Yogi.
Casey Stengel and the other touring ball players met the King of England.
Of course, with my English, we had a little trouble understanding each other.
As Yogi said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Pizza Hut.
Well, tonight's lineup's brought to you by Orlando Health. For Baltimore, Taylor Ward, Gunnar Henderson, and Pete Alonso will get it going. Then Sam Basayo, Leody Tavares, and Jeremiah Jackson. Colton Cowser, Blaze Alexander, Jackson Holiday for the O's against the Air Force captain himself, Griffin Jacks.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota trend, and Griffin Jacks making a seamless transition into that starting rotation. He's now had 5 starts. Look at the ERA, 1.42, the whip at 1.11, and by the way, has completed 5 innings in each of his last 2 starts and done it very economically. Those 10 innings, he's given up 1 earned run. That's a .9 ERA. And just 12.8 pitches per inning, which, I mean, 15's the gold standard. Not, can you keep it that low? Probably not, but that's how efficient he's been his last 2.
I got to think, if you're Griffin Jacks, going from highest leverage reliever to a starter, not every pitch might determine your outing. Right?
Yeah, right.
You make a bad pitch, all right, you got more coming. As a closer or late inning reliever, one bad pitch might ruin the whole day.
Could be, yeah, that could be the end. And not only that, but you have pitches that you probably never even get to in a 1 inning, stint, because he's got a pretty vast arsenal and using it right there to take down Taylor Ward. Quickly set that Rays defense for you. At some point, they're going to have to make a play, Andy. In the outfield, left to right, it looks like this. Chandler Simpson, Cedric Mullins, and Victor Mesa Jr. That infield third to first, Junior Caminero. Oliver Dunn getting the call at shortstop. Richie Palacios, Jonathan Aranda with Hunter Fiducia back behind the plate.
There's Oliver Dunn making his first start as a Ray. Got to think that Kevin Cash anxious to get him in. His first career start at shortstop.
No pressure.
Just
no pressure.
Go get him. Kind of interesting. Not Carson Williams today. We'll let Williams come off the bench if needed, and it's Oliver Dunn getting the chance with the late scratch with a sore hamstring for Taylor Walls.
Griffin Jacks telling Hunter Fiducia, get rid of that baseball, has no sweep in it. Give me one that has some sweep.
There's Carson, second from the left, talking to Ozzie Timmons. That is a fair ball. Fiducia with a throw. 2 down.
Nice job by Hunter Fiducia to be able to get that ball quick enough, because now all of a sudden, being a right-handed thrower, you're throwing right up the line, right into the back of Gunnar Henderson. But because he got to that ball quickly, watch how he's able to step inside the baseline. He gets to it quickly, and now look, he can clear himself a little bit of room and then find that throwing lane to Aranda.
I always think catchers receive strikes, but sometimes they got to throw strikes. And you're right, there's just that little lane. And he made it. So 2 quick outs. And now Pete Alonso. The numbers on one of the best RBI men in the game the last half decade or so. Look at that, RBI per game.
Runners in scoring position, 5 out of 11.
Well, he kept getting singles yesterday. I saw the note that the Orioles, it was the first time in their franchise history that they trailed in extra innings 3 different times and won the game. They've been here since 1954. That had never happened before. And Alonso, it's not like he was hitting them out of the park, but he kept getting these singles. They only had 2 extra base hits the whole game to the Orioles. High hard one at 97, and that's a bit of a statement first inning, or so it would appear for Griffin Jax. Rays with the early 1-0 lead in Baltimore.
Chris Sale's 10th start of the season was a beauty. He goes 7 innings, giving up just 1 run, and he is in line for his first win against the Marlins.
An outstanding outing tonight by Trey Savage. 6 innings, 2 hits, did not walk a batter, struck out 8, kept the Yankees off the scoreboard.
11 strikeouts from Kyle Harrison.
Matching a career-long outing for Kyle Harrison and a dominant 2-hit shutout for the left-hander. Wow.
Outman over. Outman with the dive! Superman! Hit-saving play by James Outman.
Ryan drops his glove on the mound and gives James Outman a standing ovation.
First pitch of the game, the pitcher hits it out.
A living, breathing statue, Shohei Ohtani.
You just don't dare take your eyes off of him.
It's a walking history book.
It's ridiculous what he does.
Appliances at the Home Depot.
Hey, there he is. 37-year-old Craig Kimbrell signed today to a major league deal. So he's here with the club. Talking to Casey Legumina. 2 of the newer Rays additions to the bullpen. So Kimbrell is active and ready to go if needed tonight, and kind of look forward to seeing him next time he takes to the hill.
You know, you're right, and interesting to see what the Rays will do with him. I mean, at first you're just going to let him go out and do his thing, and maybe they have some ideas for for down the road. But certainly you could use some help coming out of that bullpen, and they were hoping that he provides that. No reason to think that he won't.
The counter move is Jesse Schulten's has a right wrist injury and placed on the injured list officially. And there's Kimbrell getting to know everybody, his new mates. Mullins gets under it. Blaze Alexander, the third baseman. Ooh, called it waist high.
Interesting little route right there. Makes you wonder what kind of wind is up there, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like a pretty quiet night. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the most important thing, Andy. You got to get the handshake down.
Who's teaching who? Is Charlie teaching Kimbrell, or is Kimbrell teaching Charlie?
I think. Well, whose handshake was that?
I don't know.
That's where it lies. Is whoever's handshake that was? That looked like it might have been Kimbrell teaching Charlie.
Yeah.
But who knows? Everybody's got their own little thing.
As many years as I hated seeing Craig Kimbrell come into the game, it's kind of reassuring to see him in a Rays uniform. Over his years with Boston, man, he didn't allow anything to the Rays over but a 3 or 4 year period.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your name is, but let's get our little thing going.
We need to work on something. Little flare base hit for Victor Mesa Jr. Big turnaround first.
Well, the big home run in yesterday's ball game. Unfortunately, the Rays
were not able to hold that up, but there's the breaking ball right there, and that's where Shane Baz had a lot of success against the Rays lineup his last time out. With that curveball, that one stayed up. Mesa was able to poke it out into left center field, and got a guy over there now that can run well, maybe swipe you a bag. Baz has given up 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts. Not bad for a right-handed starter.
Popped up by Fiducia. Looks like it's the shortstop Henderson for the second out.
Well, this is what we were talking about. That curveball was so big for him. How about that? Rays went 0 for 9 with 6 punch-outs. All of his strikeouts. I think that's how many he had. Yeah, 6 strikeouts. Did walk 3, pitched around that. But that curveball was really, really good.
What makes his curveball good?
Well, the fact that he's got a good fastball, okay, and so he can elevate that fastball 96, 97, and then the curveball he spins tight. It's a knuckle curve, so he spins it over the one finger, and he can really spin it tight. And so when you get an up-down curveball with the fastball to pair them with, it's tough to tell out of the hand which one it is. And so the break was late. I was talking to Jim Palmer before the game, and he was telling me that the curveball his last start against the Rays was the most vertical that it has been all season long. The closest to 12-6 that they've seen it. And it was obviously that effective. And a lot of that probably because of the left-handed hitters. He was doing a really good job of staying on top of that pitch and ripping it straight down. Jim Palmer right there. How about that? 1990 Hall of Fame, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, and remembers every pitch that he ever threw.
And every pitch that everyone else ever threw.
Yeah, his recall is absolutely incredible. It's so great when he comes in to the booth before a game and starts sharing stories, and we get bantering back and forth. He's the greatest.
I'm a fly on the wall. I like listening to you guys just talk pitching. If I got something to say, I might interject a little bit, but I'm mostly all ears.
So am I. I don't get too much in there either.
That's right. That's a called strike 3, and Oliver Dunn to retire the side. That's the first strikeout for Shane Baz today.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game. Post-game. And everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Chased by something. Bo Jackson's not afraid of a pack of gorillas, and a little bee just chased him out of the batter's box. He's gone, Bo. 3-0 to Bo. He's hacking. Oh, my way gone. Lordy, he just killed him.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
What's in your mind?
Back here at Camden Yards, Cedric Mullins returned yesterday as a visitor for the first time here in Baltimore after 7.5 seasons in an Orioles uniform. And I'll tell you what, he was emotional watching that video tribute yesterday and the ovation that Orioles fans gave him when he stepped up to the plate yesterday in his first at-bat, calling it awesome. He said he couldn't thank the staff and organization enough for everything they did for him and his family. You see the career here with the Baltimore Orioles, 30-30. That was one of his favorite memories, he said, hitting that 30th home run here in this ballpark. He told me the connection with the city came came from the way he played the game every single day, saying fans appreciated the hustle and the effort, whether he played good or not. And now Kevin Cash says even Mullins working through that slow start offensively, his impact in the Rays clubhouse has never changed. He's a steady presence, very balanced with his perspective, and continues to help this team win in a lot of different ways. I'll tell you, his defense out there in center field, it has been exceptional in the NBA.
It absolutely has, Ryan. And look, we saw it for all those years when he was in the Oriole uniform. He can go get it in center. Oh, Jax, for whatever reason, just couldn't pick it up. E1, I would think.
Yeah, and that's one of those unfortunate things because there's no reason to rush anything. Basayo does not run well. You had plenty of time. The swinging little bunt right here gets to it in plenty of time. And right there, he was actually going to start to shuffle that ball towards first base before he secured it. And it came flipping right out of that glove. But that you see him too, to kind of stop and pause, like, what did I just do? But you got to regroup now and start making pitches.
And look at this. This is going to go for a hit. And Griffin Jax got nailed by that baseball. It already qualifies as a weird inning. Let's hope that Jax can recover from this. Wonder if it took his breath away too. It is Joe Bench, if you don't know, the head athletic trainer for the Rays. Read Joe Bench's lips saying, take deep breaths. All right, it'll take a pitch or two.
I was going to say, it may take a pitch or two to loosen that back up. I mean, that ball smoked him. And I think you're right, kind of knocked the breath out of you.
And I know you got a lot of adrenaline going out there. It looks like he's going to stay in, but that's
one pitch. You know, here's the interesting thing too about this play. Let's see where it got him. That pitch leaked back to the middle of the plate, right in the middle of the back. And watch Junior. Junior tries to make a play on this and tries to catch it before it gets to the turf, maybe try to turn it into a double play. Ends up a little bit short and then pushes the ball away from him, and that allows all the runners to reach safely.
all right. Well, Jax will have to go to work on Jeremiah Jackson with 2 on, nobody out. The bunt in the air, out of play.
Baltimore taking a page out of the Rays offensive playbook right there.
Honestly.
Early bunts, and why not? You know, runs have been hard to come by. You think about yesterday, at least until you got to extra innings, but up until that point, you had to scratch and claw for everything that you were going to try and get. So Baltimore thinking about playing some small ball here early. You know, sometimes you used to have those bunt plays, especially for later in the game, where if you knew they were going to bunt, you'd run the wheel play and try to get that lead runner at third base. Now they concede that. Even if they know you're going to bunt, they're going to let you bunt, try to take the out at first. And I'll tell you, Junior was playing deep and had to come charging in right there, because if Jackson were to lay down an 8+ bunt to the third base side, he may not be able to make a play.
See, Junior about even with the bag.
A little bit more shallow now. He was deeper the previous pitch. Now he starts to come.
Fouled on the bunt attempt, 2-2. If you saw a guy squaring early, though, wouldn't you want the pitch To be up, so it's harder for him to get on top of it?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you had a guy that absolutely you would do that. Now, a lot of the guys that would bunt back then, the better bunters, they would angle that bat. They'd be able to get up on top of it. But yeah, if you got a guy up there that wasn't accustomed to bunting and you could run him fastball up, you may get a quick, easy little pop-up.
One play off now with 2 strikes on Jeremiah Jackson. That's a base hit past the diving Dunn. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Here we go.
So E1 to line drive off the pitcher, to a bunt attempt that couldn't work, to a clean single to left, and the Orioles in business for the walk-off hero yesterday, Cowser.
Well, he's able to get up on top of that pitch that's moving in on him, and Jackson able to rope that ball right by Dunn. Nothing Dunn could do. That ball was smoked. But it got out to Chandler Simpson so quickly, nothing that Basayo could do besides go 90 feet to third base. But now he got some real trouble. And not this guy.
So the guy that sent us all home yesterday.
Boy, he's got that changeup. It was so good in that last start against the Orioles, but boy, does he throw a hard changeup. There is not a lot of differential between the changeup and the fastball, maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour.
But you have to talk about how it's great when there's such a large differential, but what about his? He got a lot of swing and miss on it last time.
He did, but his, if you go look at the heat map on where he put those changeups, he put them in impossible spots. That's the type of pitch, though, that if you miss out over the plate, and there was one where he pulled off of it, you leave yourself, not that it can't be effective, and it was very effective his last start, but your margin for error goes down because it's so close to your fastball. When you're talking about a changeup that's 4 or 5 mile per hour, that's like a BP fastball. It's not really even a changeup. But he was great with it. But again, he was putting them in great spots. He was locating that pitch very well. And what's interesting about that is in the middle of that lineup, his last time out, 5 of the 6 hitters were left-handed. So that let him get into a good rhythm with that pitch. Tonight's lineup, Craig Albert has put out there a lot of right, left, right, left, right, left, trying to stay away from that.
Tried that changeup again this time. Cowser just nicked it. He got him with the changeup.
He did, and look where he put it. What a great spot. He gets good fading action on that pitch. So he starts it in the middle of the plate, and that's what caused Colton Cowser to start to open up, thinking he's going to get something in the middle of the plate. Our Advent Health strike zone, look where it ends up, though. It ends up right on the edge, down around the kneecaps. Look at that thing take off to the arm side, and you end up having, a bat that's not long enough to reach it.
Now Blaze Alexander. Big day yesterday for the Oriole third baseman. Close.
Real close. Those are the ones that you wait and you're like, will they? Won't they? You gonna challenge it? No.
Too low.
Well, this is certainly a high enough leverage situation that if you were going to challenge one, but right now you need to make a pitch. You're in a tough count, a hitter's count right here at 2-1. Alexander, he wants to swing. These are where hitters really get aggressive with runners in scoring position and a 2-1 count.
Back through the middle, hits the base, and safe everywhere. What a bizarre inning. It's 1-1.
It's like the ball, they dipped it in butter. I mean, just slipping and sliding all over the place. Did that ball hit the top of the bag?
I thought it did.
I think it hit the top of second base, which didn't help matters. It was close, but it got into the midsection of Richie Palacios. Still got a chance to make the play. Yeah, that ball came up, hit him right in the stomach, but then he couldn't grab it, could not reach down there and secure that baseball. And he knows the clock is ticking. He knows that base runner's coming in, and Jax is like, all he had to do was pick it up and just could not find it.
Second error of the inning by the Rays. Fielder's choice, RBI to Blaze Alexander.
And that's on top of 4 errors in yesterday's ball game. That was something that plagued this team early in the year. Then they really started to right the ship defensively, but rearing its ugly head once again last couple of days.
4 errors yesterday, plus some issues on cutoffs and extra innings. It was not a clean game.
No, it was not. And yeah, there were a number of different issues. Pitchers backing up, home plate, third base. There are a couple of miscues.
Tavares scores. They're still loaded. 2-1 Baltimore.
Just enough to get it the other way and outside the reach. That's the changeup. And Holiday stays back long enough, right off the end of the bat and right out of the grasp of Junior Caminero.
Orioles have hit 1 ball mildly hard this inning. Well, and plus the comebacker to Jax. Everything else has been to the perfect spot, or hitting a base, or a play not made. Think how close he was to being out of this inning.
Yeah, challenge that, and that's worth the challenge. That looked like a breaking ball that was there in the zone. It's all over the plate. Is it going to be high enough?
Yep.
It's a strike. The Rays have 2 remaining.
Ryan Wills, the home plate umpire. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Oh, yeah. Deep enough to score the 3rd run. Mullins with the catch. And Jackson scores. 3-1 Orioles. So Taylor Ward with his 16th run batted in. And the Rays trail by 2. A lot of pitches thrown this inning alone. There's Garrett Clevenger getting warmed up early. Clevenger warmed up a couple of times yesterday, never got in. Bullpen, of course, heavily used by both teams yesterday in a 13-inning game. Plus, Baltimore the day before had 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, they played basically 3 games in a full day.
Right to Mullins in center. And after bases loaded, nobody out, 3 come in to score. And the Orioles leave runners at the corners. So if Jax is okay, through 2, Orioles have a lead.
Let's see how the big fastball for Miz works out.
Struck him out. Another fastball. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Always the big question is, how does somebody recover after their first start? You got all the jitters out after opening day.
I think he's back.
Still bringing some serious heat.
He's already got 3 over 100 today.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 101, and Mizorowski's got the juice working here this afternoon at American Family Field. Couple of Ks and a perfect first for Miz.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
That brings up Samuel Basallo.
The 1-1. Basallo hits us high in the air. Center field. Langford back. This one is way out of here. That may have been off the batter's eye in center. Samuel Basallo just hit it where almost no one ever has. Holy smokes. Some 440 feet later, Samuel Basallo just destroyed that baseball. A breathtaking moment at Camden Yards.
437, 109.5 off the bat.
Between innings, if body language and facial expression mean anything, BA, looks like Jax might be done for the day.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he wants to come out of this game either.
All right, Rays down 2. They get the top of the order back up. Chandler scored the lone Rays run. Top of the zone with that knuckle curveball.
The last place that you're expecting it, and so you understand why a hitter gives up on it. For it to break down to the top of the zone means he's starting it well above the zone, and so you quit on it, all of a sudden it catches that top part.
You get a whole lot of swing and miss from Chandler Simpson.
No, and you don't get a lot of swing and miss on his changeup, not like you did a season ago. And he pulled, look at, you see where Basallo is. They want that pitch down and away. He pulled it down and in and still was able to get Chandler to kind of fly open a little bit too soon. Probably because Chandler thought it was going to be a fastball in, and at